Yes. I would like to call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Would everybody please stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amber, would you please note all board members and admins present? Then we have the approval of the agenda. Board, you have an agenda in front of you. Are there any changes? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion.
I'll motion to approve the agenda as presented. I'll support.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Next up, we have the consent agenda for the approval of board meetings for the regular board meeting of April 20th, 2026, the special meeting minutes of May 4th, 2026, the closed session minutes of May 4th, 2026. And we have the approval of accounts payable in the amount of $2,552,530.27 for the month of April 2026. The approval of the treasurer's report dated April 30th, 2026 with a balance of $6,377,909.34. And then we have the approval of new hires and recognitions.
Good evening. Our resignations. We have our first grade teacher, Delaney Becker. She is moving to Constantine, so she's going to be starting a new life there. So we have called Constantine to say take her because she's amazing. So we're sad to lose her. That position is posted and we are receiving applications at the moment. Tim Mowry, custodian, no longer with us, got his resignation. And then new hires, we have Christine Welk. She is going to be our principal next school year at the middle school. Amy Pratt took a position that we posted for MTSS and virtual principal. So we had an opening there. Christine applied, interviewed, and we have hired her. Autumn Welt, she is a custodian that we just hired as well. And we don't have any retirements other than Miss Nope, which I'll give a shout out to again, but we celebrated her last month.
At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll support.
A roll call vote, please.
Gillette?
Yes.
Horsey?
Yes.
Wilkes?
Yes.
Davidson?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Peterson?
Yes. Motion carries 6-0.
Sarah, could you shut the notes?
Next up, we have reports, community input on agenda items only. So at this time, the public may address the board for agenda items only. The board does not engage or take immediate action. If needed, follow-up will happen within 2 business days. Participants are expected to be respectful, adhere to time limits, and maintain decorum to support an orderly and productive meeting. Please state for the record your full name and your address, and anybody will be given 3 minutes to speak. So none? Okay. Celebrations, we have the Above and Beyond Award.
Where do I want to go? Okay, so we have started the Above and Beyond Award where anybody in our community can nominate anyone for going above and beyond. And so we had Michelle Praka. Michelle, are you here? Michelle, can you come on up? Back it up, find a spot where it doesn't make feedback. Come on, Michelle, we're going over here.
Okay. Somewhere.
So Michelle nominated Becky Narola. Becky, can you come on up to the front for us, please? Give it up for Becky as she awkwardly walks up front. So Becky, we're presenting you with the Above and Beyond Award. And this is what Michelle had to say about Becky. Becky is being nominated for the Above and Beyond Award for being exceptional and compassionate. She shows care to a student in our young adult program and her family over the years as their bus driver. Becky became much more than a driver. She was a trusted, caring presence who made the student feel safe, valued, and excited to come to school each day. When Becky was reassigned before the student's final year, the student became upset and refused to attend school without her. On her own, Becky took the student to dinner and shopping and helped explain the transition, reassure her about her new driver, and ease her fears. Because of Becky's extraordinary kindness and dedication, the student was able to continue attending school during very difficult transition. Her compassion and willingness to go above in her role made a lasting impact on this family. And thank you for going above and beyond, Becky. Okay, we're going to get a photo.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
And you must be Caitlin.
This is Allie. Allie.
I hear about you all the time. Nice to meet you. Next up, we have the K-RISA PAC Excellent in Special Education Award with Jen Vicky.
Every spring, parents of students with disabilities can nominate anyone in the school community that have had an impact on their students' lives. And this year, Becky Norla was also nominated for the Excellence in Special Education Award and did win that award this year. So Becky, come back up to the front. Becky was nominated by Jennifer Whitmore. She drives Caitlin to school every day, and she was nominated for excellent communication, making sure Caitlin is safe and happy, always greeting Caitlin and making her smile, always having a positive and great attitude, and making sure that she is safe and happy on their way to school. Mom feels that she's blessed to have no worries about getting Caitlin on and off the bus because you're so sweet and caring and such a thoughtful driver.
This is really good. Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Next, we have the MASB achievements.
Thank you. Laura and Jessica, can you please come up here? So tonight we are recognizing two of our board members, Jessica Eberstein, our board president, and Laura Wilkes, our board vice president, for receiving the Michigan Association of School Boards Level 4 Master Board Member Award for Jessica, and Level 3 Award of Distinction and Data Skills Specialty Award for Laura Wilkes. As you can see, we invited your family. These awards are formally presented at this Wednesday's KCSOA meeting where all the board members of the county meet. But we wanted to recognize you both here in front of our board. Jessica and Laura have each dedicated countless hours to strengthening their leadership skills and growing as advocates for our students, staff, and community. These awards reflect not only their commitment to continuous learning through MASB leadership training and service activities, but also the passion and care that they both bring to their roles every day. Their willingness to invest their time in their growth speaks volumes about the kind of leaders they are, thoughtful, committed, and always focused on helping our schools and students succeed. Please join us in congratulating Jessica Eberstein and Laura Wilkes on these well-deserved award achievements, and in thanking them for their leadership, service, and dedication to our students.
All right, can we get the same line here, Brandon?
Come on, guys, we're up.
Actually, let's go there.
Yeah. Is Jessica's family over here?
Hold them all up. Hold them all up. All right, we're smiling on 3. And 4.
Hey, my family.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's kind of here.
Oh, they're cute.
Got it.
They are. Thank you. Found you.
Jesse made a decision to go over there. Hi, George. See you.
That's okay. She's
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Good job.
Next we have the student showcase, dream presentation.
Miss Latinga, is your crew ready? They are. All right, it is your turn.
You can face them, okay? Is that okay? Did they face them? You? Them?
Don't we all have to have the microphone?
Yep, you're gonna trade it.
Okay. Oh, okay, so I said okay. Hello, I'm Addie, and this is Chloe, who's not here. I'm Gajad. I'm Sully. And we will be presenting our ideas about how what is actually going on with the speaker?
We don't like that speaker, do we?
No.
Or that microphone. Let's get rid of it. Try this one.
We will be presenting our ideas about how the growth of technology and what will the future office and factory look like. We think in the office that there will be a robot to help people who are sick so they can keep working, search up things for people, find or bring items to them, answer calls, make lunch, and fix broken items. In the factory, there will be a robot to help build transmissions, fix other car parts, replace items, and check the engine. We created the following prototypes, and these are our ideas. The first robot has a little med kit to help you if you're injured or you're sick. And it also has a little screen on its stomach that you can tap and type something into it. But if you don't know how to spell something, you can just talk to it. It has a screen to show you what is broken in the transmission. It has a remote control to control it. And that is how we think you should solve the problem of what the future AI will look like at Eaton. Yeah.
All right, I should have probably introduced what was going on. I just realized. So these are the one group per class of fourth graders at the elementary school at GA Primary. And we are presenting to Eaton tomorrow. All of the fourth graders will present tomorrow, and then these were the top projects selected so far from the fourth graders. All right, our next group. JC, on your team. Remind me, this one is you. You're just gonna take it out. All right, I'm gonna put this right here. You're gonna grab those, okay? Or we can set them in front. Do you want me to set them in front? You're gonna set up?
Go ahead.
Hello, I am Carly, and Kaylin didn't make it tonight. And Ashton didn't make it tonight. And my name is Jason, and we are the Dreamers from Galesburg-Augusta Primary School. We will be presenting about our ideas how the ECJV attract good employees to their company. We think that you should sell merch, have work trips, have movie nights, and when it's your birthday, you can bring in a treat or take the day off. That would be the perfect solution to your problem. We created the following prototypes to show you our ideas. I built a cake to show you how you bring in a treat. I think you should have a movie night. I built a place where you can watch the movie. And Ashton made a water slide so they could take a day off to sometime. Kaylin built merch tables that you could get free merch when you start the job. And that is how we think you should solve the problem of finding people that are good to work at Eaton.
I like the dance afterwards.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. Hello, I am Brianna, and this is Oliver, Ari, and we are the charming teamers from Galesburg-Augusta Primary School. We will be presenting our ideas about how to diagnose what needs to be fixed if an engine stops working. We think that instructions in iPad and computer would help to tell you what needs to be fixed. I built the instructions that walk through each step. They say, figure out what the problem is, get the tools, and then you fix the engine, and then you have to test if it works. I built the model of the car that we would diagnose.
If you open the engine up, it has a fan and a computer inside the engine.
Ari, open.
Here's the fan. And then there's a MIDI computer inside the engine because it's programmed. And the fan also works, so yeah. I also built an iPad and computer that attaches to the engine to tell you what isn't working. Here's the computer. My friend Oliver made a lock on it. And then here it is. And there's also an iPad with apps. And that is how you should solve the problem of diagnosing what is wrong with your engine.
We want to thank Ms. Latinga's STEAM class and Eaton for their partnership with all of our STEAM classes at the primary. So give them one more round of applause. Can we get all of you guys on that wall for a picture, please? All right, you guys can come on up. Okay, we're gonna say dream on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Dream.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys.
I cannot believe that.
At this time, if you would like to exit the board meeting, you can. You don't have to stay for the rest of it. Thank you guys all for coming tonight.
This is your chance to be free. Go get food? Yeah, don't.
I'm hungry.
I'll take it over.
Right, you gotta go make dinner still.
You can bring the dinner back.
I mean, I do make decent food, but I'm a better baker than a cook.
Chocolate chip?
I make really good chocolate chip cookies, but I'm better with these very specific sugar cookies that I know about. Yeah.
Well, expect some at
Oh
the
yeah,
next
sports
meeting.
cookies too. Buddy, high five.
All right. Next up, we have the superintendent evaluation.
You did really good.
Oh, it's in here. No, it's he's after me. Yep. Okay. So, at our May 4th meeting, the board completed the superintendent's mid-year progress review. Overall, the superintendent is meeting expectations and remains on track to successfully achieve the 2026 goals. We recognize strong progress in key areas, including facilities, readiness, strategic planning alignment, data-driven decision-making, transportation accountability, and district-wide communication. The work completed in the first half of the year has established a strong foundation for continued progress and successfully completion of goals moving forward. And then we have Galesburg City Council, Tony Tipkin. I don't think he was able to make it tonight, so we have the superintendent update with Dr. Newman.
Just a couple updates for our facilities planning. Frank Couch, facilities director, and I, and Sean Sportel have been meeting to go over how we want to get together a facilities plan going forward. And we're talking 10 years. We're not just looking at this year and the next year, although we are. And trying to get a cyclical type of funding wheel so that when we have things and projects that are going to be coming up that we're not trying to find the money, that we've set aside money. So we are going to be presenting that at our June COW meeting. I do have 10-year projection. We will extend that out about another 15 years, knowing that we've got things that are going to be going away in 25 years, 15 years from now. So very, very proud and thankful for Frank Couch's leadership and what he has been doing over the last 7 years, and then how we project going forward. Wrapping up this school year, our fiscal year ends June 30th, so we're trying to do a little bit of a pause so that we're not spending money next year, this month, and next month. So it's kind of in pause mode, getting everything cleaned up so that we have fiscal year starting July 1st. Contingency funds from the 2021 bond, we have about $500,000. Those were slated for certain things, and so we went back to that monies to see what is needed at this point. Our inspections on our playgrounds are due. We're in about a 1 to 2 year window of needing to have those shut down. So we have a playground bid brought to the table, and then we also are in need of some buses. We just had 3 buses red tagged, so we are looking to purchase 1 or 2. We'll look and see. There was also a storage facility on our storage garage on that as well, so we're looking to see with the funds that we have if that's a possibility as well. So stay tuned for those funds. We need to get those wrapped up here in the next year. What else? Auxilio transition. So we will be ending our agreement with Auxilio June 30th, and we are going to be having Mets come on board on July 1st. So we're an attempt to get in touch with the leadership at Auxilio, message them this morning to hopefully get a meeting to figure out what the transition plan looks like for that so that it's seamless. We have no break in routes, and that we have an opportunity to get that cleaned up. I'd love to bring an air blower in there and just it out. So looking to see how we can get that going. Looking forward to that conversation this week is my hope. Frank Couch, our facilities director, also has a new system in place. We're going to calendarize all of our cleaning schedules for the summer versus sending out a list that, it's got all the dates of when the buildings and hallways are going to be cleaned, and then it always changes because something happens. So we're going to use the calendar system, and then Frank can adjust those dates and times as needed. And then people, before they come in the buildings over the summer, can look at the calendar. Oh no, the floors are being done. I can't go in. So looking forward to seeing that. What else do I have on here? I mentioned that we have to hire a 4th and 1st grade teacher. Mrs. Nope is retiring, and then Delaney Becker is moving to Constantine. And then you have some dates there. We've got graduation this week. We've got ramping up this week. We decided to do it all in one day, so it's going to be a fun, busy day. Probably to be asleep by 9:01 that night. So.
Next up, we have business items for discussion. 2026-2027 Chartwell's renewal.
Just compliance piece with the Chartwell's agreement, something that we update yearly, so we just need to extend that. You guys have been updated throughout the year as to the progress and how our agreement with them has been going. We're very pleased. We're very happy. I'm proud to announce, too, that last week, I believe it was, Ms. O'Donnell's student council and director of Chartwell's, David Scohara, sat down. He got some feedback from the kids as to what they want to see, how things are going, so we're looking forward to implementing that into going into next school year as well.
KRESA 2026-27 general fund budget, narrative and resolution.
I brought this to the table at our COW. Wanted you guys to be able to see the KRESA numbers. Again, a compliance piece of annually looking at the budget of KRESA. It goes through multiple stakeholders. It is now at the board level of each county or of each district in the county of KZoo. So it is our turn to approve that.
Strategic planning, Fielding International.
I'll give the audience a background. Are you guys going to give background? Want me to give background?
Would you want to?
I can.
Sure, that'd be great. We'll get it loaded.
So 2023, we spent the summertime putting together our strategic plan for the years of 2023 to 2026. It's weird to even say that. Like I feel still like it's 23. Anyway, so we put together a 3-year plan. We are at the back end of that strategic plan. We've implemented a lot of successful things from that, but it was time to look forward. We've been working with Fielding International, who does some strategic planning. Jessica and I were at a conference, and we ran into Sarah, and we really liked her style and wanted her to lead us through strategic planning for the district. So they're going to give a brief overview of what we've talked about. I'll let you guys go through the stakeholders and everybody, but please give them a warm welcome.
Great. Thanks, everyone. I'll try and simultaneously address both halves of the room. It's good to be here. So we began, actually that slide is the slide we want. Maybe this will work.
Turn it on.
If turning it on is helpful.
There we go.
So strategic planning is a critical part of school planning to make sure that you're moving forward with directionally to accomplish the goals you have as a district, generally in a path to continue to improve teaching and learning and the outcomes for kids. And so the strategic plan that we began, really there was a preliminary conversation that started in January about, hey, what could it look like to update our strategic plan, a framework that we had that was very successful the past 3 years, and how can we make sure we continue to engage with our teaching and learning team, our instructional leadership team, our board, and then ultimately provide a strong update to the work that we've done, build on the successes we've had, and then project to the future. So this is a brief timeline, or a timeline that describes that work. We were able to learn about the district, kick off some work with the board and some visioning just in early February. We met with teachers at all of the all-staff meetings in March. We came to the district leadership team, which included building principals, where we took the data that we collected from those early engagements and said, here's all the things that are surfacing as important for your community. How do we wrangle that into a set of key actions that our district or that your district can take to move in the direction you want to move? We were able to compile that into, a coherent document, give it back to the district, and they were very careful, and they said, hey, this actually may not even reflect some of our language. We need to do better. So we went back, we've updated language, and what we're presenting today is, after multiple filters, landing on a key set of directives that we think can guide you for the next few years. We hoped to actually have this completed earlier in this year, so towards the end of March, early April, but because of the public bond vote millage, we said, hey, don't confuse your community, pause, we'll come back to you in May, and then we'll look at what's in the strategic plan then. So there isn't a complication of, why are we doing strategic planning while also looking for funding? We want to make sure that was clean. So that's why we are meeting here today in mid-May. So just as a reminder, this is the outline of the strategic plan that you had previously. What you see in this document is your vision, your mission, your values, and what you believe in, and then a set of 3 years of goals and action steps, 1, 2, 3 at the bottom. And then on the right, for each of those years, there's a more detailed document that gets into kind of that academic language around what your community or what your leaders and teachers are doing to execute your strategic plan. And this was a really successful framework, so we wanted this next version of the strategic plan to reflect a same or a similar approach. And so just to show, this is breaking kind of this next strategic plan down into components. So these are visuals from what we're proposing as the strategic plan document. You'll see vision and mission outlined. That language has not changed. You'll see what you believe in and your values. Again, that language did not change. It was generally affirmed and supported by the community as you move through that. What does change is the description and the details of what work you need to take on next, and that is what Sarah will tell you more about. And she'll fill in all the gaps I missed. And
yeah. Hi, everyone. So just like you have in the plan here, the 1, 2, and 3, we have the same thing. And there's a couple of things I want to talk about before getting into these 3. One is that the idea here is that your work that you've done was so successful, and we really wanted to take it to the next level. So we were kind of charged, I guess I'll say, with the idea of all the things we're doing, we wanted to get deeper, more integrated into our system, and really have impact on student outcomes. And that was what we were charged with. So you're going to see some language in here that you might, it might be kind of academic language. And it's there for a reason, because we're mixing in the information that you give to the state, which is called the Money Kit, so the Continual Improvement Plan, is integrated into your strategic plan. And that's important for you guys as a board, and you guys as those that might read it in the community, because the language is a little bit more academic. So you'll see up there, for example, the biggest one is guaranteed and viable curriculum. That's language that's used across the state of Michigan to give people the really strong foundation in our community. If a student went from one school to another, or went to a neighboring school, you would have similar curriculum given. And that's just really an important asset for all students to have similar things given. So that's kind of the language around this. You'll notice a mixture of academic and public information. So the first of your 3 goals, which are written sideways rather than up and down this time, align and strengthen instructional culture through shared practice and a guaranteed viable curriculum. And the idea is that by practicing together, by embedding it really deeply, all the things that the work has already been going on, by embedding it deeply, you are now together creating a culture that is together decided, and it's really focused on instruction of kids. And then the practice of a guaranteed and viable curriculum being integrated in. That's strategy 1. Strategy 2, strengthen the conditions for student success, including attendance, the feeling of belonging, mental health, family partnerships, and those are things that came out from the community when we visited, from leadership, and from staff. And then the third strategy is to build a culture of evidence-based improvement where data drives instructional decisions and even things like community engagement. So if you think of it, the first one is kind of thinking about how the systems work. The second one is thinking about how students are seen and valued. And the third one is talking about how data supports both of those. Everything okay so far?
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay. So that's really the most talking we'll do. That's the big thing. So then it is broken down into year 1, and I'm going to flip through these so you kind of get the gist of it. So you've got a year 1. The left side is your plan. The right side is we kind of created what we call a cheat sheet, and you have it in front of you. And in this cheat sheet, you can look at year 1 by going on the column, or you can look at a strategy like strategy 1 and go all across from year 1 to 5. Whatever kind of thinking is best for you guys. So you have the cheat sheet, but the left is all of the bullet points, the things that will going to be taken on in year 1. So then we've got years 2 and 3, and years 4 and 5. And that happened because this plan is so much deeper, and you're setting up new systems. You're reflecting on those systems. You're adjusting the systems, especially with feedback. So each year things will be reported to the board. Adjustments can be made. And we know that is not something that you can just check off and move on. So we extended it to that longer term. So going back just to year 1, let's start there. If you think of the strategies of being around kind of the systems of making an instructional space, and the second being conditions for students, and then the third being the data. On the right side, you'll see how to summarize that. So year 1 of the strategic plan is defining exactly what success looks like for our graduates. Have you guys all worked a little bit with a portrait of a graduate? I'm not sure if it's come to the board level yet or if that's yet coming. Okay, so something called a portrait of a graduate is what it says right there. It's how do we know what success is until we ask, until we say, what does it look like to thrive in today's world? And so that's what will be defined really as step 1. Then, in addition, and I'll kind of say this part together, and then you'll kind of review where the materials that you already have gaps. So are we teaching it already? Are they integrated into what we're learning? What units can talk about, for example, if perseverance is one of your traits, where do we teach perseverance throughout the units in our schools? And then there are several core teaching priorities that are already been focused on by your district, and that was established in the first 3 years, the last 3 years of your strategic plan. So this is just like taking it in and really holding those 4 up. 4 of the top priorities and holding it up to your community to make sure that everyone is on the same page as these being the most important. Does that make sense for year 1? Okay. So year 2, or sorry, not year 2, but strategy 2, if you're looking down the column, that will be talking more about student success and student belonging. So as you can see, it says we're reviewing and updating attendance and mental health support systems. There are already systems in place that are excellent. So it's a matter of, okay, have we had the impact we really want to have? Let's review the impact we're having and then update accordingly. And then the other component of that is making sure that everyone has access to all the different resources to help students really succeed. So they'll use regular student surveys, which have already been started, to make sure they understand exactly how kids are feeling and what impact it's having on students. And then communicating with families is really important to your leadership. And so making sure that they have the right methods for doing that. I know there's already a lot of work being done on predictability of communications and making sure you're doing it in a way that's really well received. So that work will really be established. And then finally, the strategy, the third strategy in this first year will really be around taking the extra time and care to make sure that the data that's already here, that you already have really centered, is known and understood by staff. So that includes any staff that could use the data. So it could be like your bus driver was just here, who's doing a wonderful job. There could be pieces that bus drivers reflect on. And staff across your district, how can we use data to make sure that we're not just doing the work, but driving outcomes? So that's kind of the big picture of the first year. So, do you have questions about that? Thoughts? Maybe even like where you might come involved in this work?
I've been keeping them attuned.
Yeah, good. Yeah, because there's a lot of that third component is really where your job will be, where there's data updates and things like that. And I know Mike wanted to talk about one thing too.
Yep. So that's year 1. Year 2 and 3 and year 4 and 5 is about deepening and sustaining that work. And any system change requires deep, sustained practice and work. And so we won't go into those details because we know this is a public meeting and there's ice cream to be had and celebrations to continue. So this is the matrix that was handed out to you. It breaks down that work as Sarah outlined. And I just want to add, I had the opportunity to work with you in one of those early board meetings. And one of the things that emerged from that is we need to prepare our kids with the skills and experiences that are going to support them in finding the jobs and really thriving in the world beyond high school. That was what clearly emerged from that first meeting. And I think one thing that should really be celebrated and understood as a part of this is this whole strategy in that beginning, strategy 1, column 1, starts with defining and clarifying exactly that, and the rest of this work builds from there. And so that direction that the board gave is really at the core of this effort, and it will continue to expand from that point forward. So that is the summary of the strategic plan proposal, and we're hopeful that you find that this is both rooted in deep academic work that you know is important for kids, but also thinking about the systems that can help your teams and adults that are working with kids sustain great practice and continue to grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Next up, we have the primary school playground. I don't think we did the game. We already talked about it. Primary school playground.
Take 2. We're working with Game Time International for playground equipment. I actually had an opportunity to work with them when I was at Northwood Elementary. Our playground was ready to be redone then as well, so I was able to work with them. What I really appreciate about them is that you give them all the pieces you want, and then they come together with this magical piece of equipment that our kiddos are going to love. So you have in front of you the bid for the 2 playgrounds, one that has to be for our preschoolers and younger kids, and then one for our older playground as well. Questions?
Is it just for the primary, or is this for the middle school or
I believe the middle school, Frank could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the middle school was done after the 2016 bond. I don't think it was from those funds, but after that work all done at the middle school, there was playground done then.
So this is basically
just primary. Mm-hmm.
So at the primary, I believe there's 3 playgrounds, right? Or is there only 2? 2. So there's 2 playgrounds at the primary.
I only saw the one, which I think was the third option that was in the packet. Is it right?
This is what we know. There's 2 of them. There might be like a third little piece, but that's like an addition. 2 playgrounds.
Were those quotes basically the same, or were they different?
One mass quote in the end.
Yeah, like there was lots of process of going back and forth with different types of playgrounds, and so we ended up putting together the one that we could purchase and afford, and then also meet the needs of our kids.
But my question: how much different were those 2 packages?
Not much. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but not much.
Gigantic.
No, of course not. No.
Any other questions? Okay. Moving on, we have the bond authorization resolution.
So after passing May 5th, we have to do some paperwork. So that is our compliance piece sent to us by Troon that we need to get the resolution passed for going forward with the funds.
That wasn't included in the packet.
Yes, it is.
I didn't get one.
It was in the packet.
You got it?
Not printed, but it was in there now. So
I can pull it up for you too, Gary. Philip, anything more on that we need to speak on? Just for the refunding and whatnot?
Yeah, only that there's 2 pieces. There's what's called the new money piece.
Hold on, Gary. Hold on.
In the packet.
Oh.
Gary.
The bond authorizing resolution includes new money. We'll sell bonds to raise money for new construction. And then there's a refunding. The refunding will happen assuming we can save 1.5%. That's our floor. If we can't meet 1.5%, then we will not go through with the refunding. But we feel like we will be able to reach that point. We'll refund the 2015 bonds and save, ultimately what that does is save taxpayer money.
The only reason I'm raising the issue is because I just didn't see it.
Yeah,
I don't feel comfortable
What page is
looking
it
at
on?
something I didn't
Page
see.
56 of the packet. It's,
Page
yeah,
6.
it's the second attachment.
56, just kidding, 56.
In the second attachment.
I don't know if we can hear you.
I mean, I'm happy to share it.
In the second attachment, they said, Gary.
It was in the second.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
He printed it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one with front
Third.
True.
True.
I got it all messed up. True. It's like right after the diagram of the playground, I think. Might even be almost the last page.
You ran out of paper.
Are you sure?
It's just page 56.
I'm not opposed to saving money.
Saving money on
That's the
paper
only reason I'm raising
and
the question.
saving taxpayer money. I mean, hey.
And I have a poll.
Okay. So we're going to move on to the SRO contract update.
Everybody give it up for Deputy Benton in the back. We have had an SRO. We're going into our third year. Is this our third year? Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Third year. So we are at a time to renew our agreement. So I reached out to Climax to make sure, because we split Deputy Benton with Climax. So I reached out to make sure that they were good with that. Mr. Newington said, you want to go 50-50? Because we are doing 60-40. And I said, heck yeah, we do. So either way, we get Deputy Benton here consistently in the week. So we're just very, very thankful to have him.
So we're going to switch so we have him 50% of the time?
Yes. The reality of Deputy Benton say, hey, I'm going to be there on Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays is very rare. It's wherever the needs are, right? Yeah. So we're confident that we can share and meet the needs of both Climax and Galesburg-Augusta whenever those needs arise.
Thank you. Next up, we have communications, public participation.
Before we get to that, can we go back one step? I just have one question.
Okay.
This goes, let's make sure this is on.
Push it.
My question.
Just talking it. Go ahead, it's on
It's green.
Hello. For some reason, it's not working.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. My question goes back with respect to the K-RESA general funding budget. I raised a number of questions. You all got a copy of them, and I got responses to all of them. And most of those were fairly straightforward. The one that bothers me the most is the one that relates to, and it's only because we didn't get the answer to one question that I didn't ask, which I should have not come to it, is the one that relates, a third of the K-RESA general fund budget is dedicated to Head Start programs, basically. Limited number of students in both of those. And the question I didn't ask was, well, the expenditure per student is pretty significant if you do the math on it. But the question I didn't ask was, how does K-RESA measure the return on their investment with a 3 and 4 year old? And I mean, to me, given the amount that's being expended, that seems like a fairly pertinent question. We can measure the return we're getting on other expenditures we're making, K to 12 through standardized testing or whatever. But how do you do that for 3 and 4 year olds? And again, I didn't ask that question specifically, but
Those questions, if you want answers, need to be addressed before the meeting that we're going to vote on it.
Yeah. Gary, and to answer that question, I don't know exactly, but I do know that there are professionals that are leading those departments of the 3 and 4 year olds, and they are measuring growth. They are measuring. So if you do have specific questions, we can get you answers for that.
well, that's just the general question, but.
Yep. Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job at getting back and answering all of the questions. Okay. So moving on, communications, public participants. I didn't see any.
Is there any new?
Did anybody want to speak? I need you to sign up on the form at the door.
Is there a pen up there, Jen?
So same rules apply. Everybody will be given 3 minutes. If you would like to talk, you need to sign up on the yellow paper. And
Ours is, I just turned it off because it was interfering.
you need to state your name and address for the record.
Can you turn off the other mics, please?
So don't interfere, yeah.
She'll call you.
Yeah,
out.
that's easy.
Oh, okay. You can see ours off that way, just when she's ready.
Did you say 3 minutes? Did you say
3 minutes. Yeah, I
Yeah,
said same rules apply.
Sorry, thank you. I had a minute.
I got interrupted and I had to think of where I left off.
I got you.
I would love to actually. I would love to speak from my community.
Okay, first up we have Lisa Smith.
My name is Lisa Smith, and some of you may know me through the community. Some of you may know me recently by social media. I was one of the ones that was heading the no for the bond for specific reasons. You know, our tax dollars, because of old bonds not being spent the way they're supposed to be spent. And we are concerned because it seems like every few years we're asked for a bond for this and that and this and that. And my disagreement was the maintenance of the buildings and stuff, okay? Well, during the social media, I was called some pretty nasty names by a couple of board members and other people. I'm not going to say their names because they know who they are. I was called a liar because my signs came up missing, and I put it out there that our signs were missing. Our signs were destroyed. I put it out there I was a liar, clickbait, whatever you want to call it. But the worst thing is I found this. Right, my neighbor did. My 83-year-old neighbor knew what this meant, and he called me and told me this was on the way to and from the elementary school. Now, by 2 of your board members, I was called a child hater, and one of them a disgusting child hater. Now, I was Mrs. Claus in this town for 25 years. I read to the kids at the library for 25 years. I went to the Laurels and visited the people at Laurels. If any of you have went to the open thing for trick-or-treating, my husband and I donated a lot of candy to that and donated our time. If you went to the Easter egg hunts, the Easter eggs and the candy and stuff were donated by my husband and I, a lot of it. So for 40, 50 years, my husband and I have done a lot for this town. And I was told that I'd never done nothing for this town, and that they were sad that I had children. Now, this is not what a board is supposed to be for a school. They're supposed to be what they tell their students to be, or the children to be. Not to be bullies, not to intimidate people. And to me, this is voter intimidation. But this was for everyone to see. Now, is this something that the school board and that this school represents? This is hateful. This is evil. So there was only 2 board members that called the people that called me a child hater. So it must have came from somewhere, and the apple don't fall too far from the tree. But I don't think you'll do anything about it.
Next up, we have Owen Smith.
Yes, my name's Owen Smith. I've been a residents here for over 50 years. That's my wife. And I paid taxes longer than most of you are old. You know what I'm saying? I'm 70, so I'm sure most of you people ain't but 40. So what it is, this turned into a thing. I've been trying to tell the school board, before you folks now, this is before you, even down, that we wanted to spend our money better. And I'm a contractor as a drywall contractor, and I've been in business and buildings and everything that you can imagine. All I wanted to do is what she was coming after and been coming after. You guys are running around with buckets with kids, holding them. There's no reason for that. And another thing is, we've been trying to tell the systems, before you folks, that why can't we put a 60 or 70-year roofs on these buildings? This one, the elementary, whatever, in Augusta, and I know they make 70-year roofs. And that will stop a lot of that, and that way you folks ain't coming after 11 million, 15 million, 20 million every 3 or 4 years. Because that's, you know, if you spend a one-time deal and hire a contractor that knows how to do that and put a warranty on this building or hold him accountable, then that'll way people, all you folks ain't got to pay these taxes. And I notice my taxes just continually to rise in my little old block house. You know what I'm saying? But, and another thing too, it seemed like a lot of strong arm stuff was going on. You know, you called her everything. Sure, she put it out there for people to read and for people to see, but that's her First Amendment right. Then all of a sudden, you folks, few of you, just slammed her, called her this, called her that. And I thought, man, this ain't USA. This is communist for that. And I'm sure you know, we can show you. But we just don't like that. And we got a right to say no. And it must have been good. 880 people was a no. Or 850. So if that don't tell you something, we just want to be able. Now the school kids, they get money from the government. We know they make $10,000, $15,000 a year for each student, or 20. That's what I was reading. But now we get the bonds, and then of course, Lindsay, you were telling us, you know, when you come on there, that you don't know how the bonds work. Well, I know how they work because I've been paying them for 50 years. It's on there, how the bonds work. Well, come on down, and we'll show you how the bonds work. Well, it's there. And we said, we know how they work. When it passes, especially when we're trying to get roofs fixed so they last longer and we don't got to come after all that much money. When they pass, we got to constantly come up with more taxes. And what happens, that runs people out of town. So what I'm trying to say is, are there any way that you remember? Well, okay. Well, get the roofs fixed 70 years. That'll help a lot.
Okay, next we have business items for decision. 2026-2027 Chartwell's renewal. Do we have any further discussion? Okay. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the K-RESA 2026-27 Chartwell's. Sorry, I'm not wrong. A motion to approve the renewal of Chartwell's contract for the 2026-2027 school year as presented.
I'll support.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Meltzer?
Yes.
Gillette?
Yes.
Davidson?
Yes.
Wilkes?
Yes.
Shute?
Yes.
Horsey?
Yes.
Eberstein?
Yes. Motion carries 7-0. K-RESA 2026-27 General Fund Budget, Narrative, and Resolution. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the K-RESA 2026-2027 General Fund Budget and Resolution as presented.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Gillette?
Yes.
Davidson?
Yes.
Horsey?
Yes.
Shute?
Yes.
Meltzer?
Yep.
Wilkes?
Yes.
Eberstein?
Yes. Motion carries 7-0. Strategic plan. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 to 2029 strategic plan without any changes.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Shute?
Yes.
Meltzer?
Yep.
Davidson?
Yes.
Horsey?
Yes.
Wilkes?
Yes.
Gillette?
Yes.
Eberstein?
Yes. Motion carries 7-0. Primary school playground.
I'll motion to approve the use of contingency funds from the 2021 bond for the purchase of new primary school playground equipment in the amount of $198,300.46.
I'll support.
Any further discussion?
I was asked by a board member, can we just do the, what's it called, demolition and taking everything out and hauling it out ourselves, because it's about $20,000 to do that. I experienced that over at Northwood. We tried that. We tried to get a community day to get it all taken down and get it out of there, and nobody showed up. So it's a little bit of a risk to do that. So I think it's worth the money to have the professionals do it.
Thank you. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Davidson?
Yes.
Wilkes?
Yes.
Gillette?
Yes.
Shute?
Yes.
Meltzer?
Yep.
Horsey?
Yes.
Eberstein?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Bond authorization resolution.
I had a chance to read it.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 refunding bonds resolution as presented.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davidson?
Yes.
Horsey?
Yes.
Wilkes?
Yes.
Shute?
Yes.
Gillette?
Yes.
Meltzer?
Yep.
Eberstein?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. SRO contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the extension and amendment of the SRO agreement between Galesburg-Augusta Community Schools, Climax Scotts Community Schools, and the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office as presented.
I'll support.
Any further discussion?
I do have to say I'm okay going 50-50, but we know who you like best.
I would just like to say I'm so thankful for you and the partnership that you have with our kids and community. You can definitely see a difference. So thank you.
Very much so.
Roll call vote, please.
Horsey?
Yes.
Shute?
Yes.
Meltzer?
Yep.
Davidson?
Yes.
Gillette?
Yes.
Wilkes?
Yes.
Eberstein?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Next up, we have communications, board comments. Shoot, what do you got?
I have a thingamajigger. We have gone through a lot of stuff recently. I'm very thankful for with all of the things we've worked together between the strategic plan. I'm excited for having goals for the next 5 years on that. I'm very excited for our upcoming bond changes that we finally got through, and it's so it warms my heart that we had Gary with us during this bond as well, and him seeing all the things on our side of the table and being able to experience it from a board member view. I'm very happy for that, and I'm just ready for us to keep moving forward.
I'll switch notes here. Graduation is Thursday. I'm sure I'll see all your faces there. I'm just super excited. I saw the commitment day post that went out, and I don't know, it just warmed my heart to see all the kids entering universities, colleges, trades, whatever it may be. It was just exciting to see such a vast array of next steps, I guess you could say.
First, I'd like to thank whoever for getting my family here. That was extremely nice, and I appreciate that. Also, I'm super excited for ramping up. I couldn't go last year, but I am very excited, and I think that's such a great thing that was brought to our district to really, help those kids get ready for next year. So thank you.
I'll just call the guy.
There we go.
Oh, shake it.
All right, I just want to say how wonderful it is. I'm blessed to be able to coach multiple sports throughout the year. And then I also belong to Gowanus, which is a local community group that came in, and we delivered pizza because our fourth graders all won the Persuasive Writing Challenge. So last week I came in to do that, and what I think is really cool is that I'm seeing a lot of the student athletes that I coach in the Dreams programs and in the writing programs and everything else. So it's just really neat to see the well-rounded students that we're raising here in Galesburg-Augusta. I just really appreciate all of the effort that the staff and the educators are putting in for our kids.
As a couple members of our audience noted during the comments, yes, the bond did pass, and But interestingly enough, it passed by the same margin, if you look back in time, that all the other ones have as we've gone back and forth. And the reality is that this district still remains fairly well split right down the middle. And one of the things I think this board needs to do before we start allocating and spending the bond proceeds is to get some of the dissenters involved in this so that, you know, everybody has a place at the table, so to speak. We get to make the ultimate decisions, but I think we would be misguided if we didn't get those folks in somehow. And I'm not sure how we go about doing that, but I'm throwing that out as something we need to think about, and if we're going to do it sometime fairly soon.
Just want to pick up on the strategic plan because as somebody who teaches at college, and I have a lot of dual enrolled students and I have a lot of freshmen, I love the idea of what is the profile of graduate. So I'm very excited for that piece as we're moving forward with our strategic plan and trying to focus on how to make sure that our students are prepared when they go to college or even as dual enrolled students. So I'm very excited for that. And that's all I got.
Okay, so I am not going to be ramping up this year, unfortunately. So sad. I will see you all at graduation. I'm really excited for Kirsty to get to hand out diplomas to her class. It's very exciting when you get to do that. And then since our last board meeting, I think the main thing, obviously we had a lot of things around the bond, but we did 3 beautifications at each of the, we did 1 at each of the 3 buildings. Pfizer volunteers did. So by doing so, not only did they clean up the school in the areas at the primary, they did the courts. Hopefully you guys all got to see here. They did the entrance so they could do it, would be nice for graduation. And then they did some stuff up at the middle school. And then because we were able to have 5 volunteers at each of the projects, then Pfizer donates $1,000 to the schools on top of the volunteer hours that they gave. So that was really nice to see. And that's about all I have. It's been a wonderful year and it's nice to see it coming to an end. I'd like to thank our staff for all of their hard work. I'll hand it over to you.
For superintendent comments, actually our middle school principal stopped by our middle school just to test her drive, and as she walked up, she's like, oh my heavens, the grounds are amazing and look beautiful. So she was very impressed by that. So thank you. Okay, tomorrow I get to start the process of where we're going with the bond. I'm going to sit down with our construction management elite, our architect engineer Tower Pinkster, business director Philip is going to be online with us, and then our facilities director Frank Couch and myself. We're going to start to talk about what's the projection of how to spend the 11.24, what are our priorities, what is the pricing, what are the bid opportunities, just trying to find alignment from those experts on when's the best opportunity to go for projects. I plan on updating the community in the June RAM announcer. I'm going to do like a State of the Union, State of the District type page. So hopefully that bond update will make it into that. We should be able to have an answer for them. To kind of comment what you were saying, Gary, you and I are on the same track because I wrote down that, you know, yes, it was 937 to 880. I mean, those numbers ring in my mind 24/7. I'm very happy that our community came out and gave their voice. That's all we asked for as a district, is that people voted. And that happened. One of the systems that we've started to put in place is our facilities committee. Our facilities committee is made up of parents, made up of staff, made up of community members, anybody that's interested in coming in, sitting down with myself, our facilities director, to say, hey, I want a 70-year roof out there. So you're invited, Owen. And coming to the table to make sure that our voices are heard. And obviously there's things that come into play, like those could be way too expensive for what we have. So there's just those conversations that need to be had. And then I think I just wanted to comment one time too, I do know how bonds work now. I learned that over the last year. Not naive to that. I think the comment that I made was, I'm not sure how past decisions for bonds were made. So clearly knew what was going on this time around.
Let's say one more thing.
Really today.
Just one more comment. I've lived in this district for 45 years and I've watched everything that's happened. And I can tell the community with no uncertainty that the best opportunity for change is now, because we have the best superintendent we've had in the 45 years I've lived here. She's very easy to work with, so I would encourage the people who don't like the way things are doing to get those issues on the table so they can be addressed, because they will be addressed.
And I would like to add too that this board has been through a lot and has done a lot, and we have a very diverse group of people here today that do work very hard for our community. And on that note, I'm going to adjourn this meeting at 7:10.